That's going to work perfectly for today. We do have some basketball to get to, some actual hoops that were being played, but we are, of course, getting closer and closer to that Thursday deadline, and this is picking up speed. Cavs and Clippers possibly discussing a Harden Garland swap. According to Brett Siegel, Harden and LA have actually been discussing a split for weeks now, which is kind of crazy, but Kawhi was surprised when he found out that Harden wanted that trade. They are 3.5 games back of the Warriors for the 8 seed. Cavs are sitting in the 5 spot out in the East. You know, you woke up, there's a lot of talk about this. Lou makes fun of me, but I listen to NBA radio all day long. People aren't loving it necessarily, Shump. So I'm wondering, like, how are you feeling when you see this, these names possibly being swapped? How do you feel?
Don't like it.
Okay.
I think that, you know, James has had difficulty in the playoffs. You're trying to improve yourself in the playoffs, and now you're going to get a James Harden that is not what we even, when we thought he was going to win, he wasn't able to do it, and now you want him to do it as he's years older, you know what I'm saying, and coming out of a frustrating situation. Well, they've been playing well now, but in the early start of this season, frustrating situation, losing Chris Paul, all these different shifts happening, it's like we're not going to throw him in Cleveland and then great things are going to happen. I think that the DG and Donovan Mitchell backcourt is a great backcourt.
Sure. When
you start talking about adding a Schroeder to the mix, I think Schroeder is a proven winner. Like, whether we think about it a lot or not, like, he won over the water. He's able to be on a different mix of teams. He knows how to be a professional. He knows what to do. We can have a Dennis Schroeder give you 12 to 15 and sometimes close games for you, depending on Donovan Mitchell being hot or somebody else being hot. I just don't know if James Harden coming to the mix and being a ball-dominant basketball player helps you out a ton.
This one's, first of all, we've now spoken of DG possibly being moved the last couple of seasons. I will say this, not in my wildest dreams did I think James Harden was going to be the other part of this conversation. So what are we doing here? Does this work for you?
Nah, I agree with Sean. And, you know, this isn't more so about, you know, James for me. It's more so about Donovan Mitchell as far as, you know, his growth, his development, him being that franchise cornerstone, putting him in the best situation to succeed and putting him in the best situation to be the best version of himself. And adding James to that mix at this stage of both of their careers, it just doesn't really add up and make sense in anything I just, you know, said as far as those matching up. So I'm not a fan of the move, well, the potential move. And it doesn't really make sense long term, you know, present day, anything. It just, the timelines don't match up. Nothing makes sense in this scenario. So I'm not a fan of it. I do like the, you know, the additions of, you know, Dennis Schroeder and things like that. I agree with Sean.
Who could be moved again? Like, I feel like this is going to be weird if they start doing all this. Are they going to move him now?
Well, James is next year will be the last year of his deal.
Right.
Last year of his contract. So that's possibly something to look at, that you have some flexibility to move around after that. And it also looks like a one-sided deal when it comes to the Clippers. This looks like a force out for James. You know, I think they've been dealing with this quietly behind closed doors for a couple of weeks, and now that we've gotten, you know, to the end of this deadline, things are starting to come out in the public. Now we're starting to see that now we're paying attention to him being away from the team and not being there. And so these things are getting louder and louder. And so for me, this looks like a lateral move for both teams. Like, we don't like it for the Clippers. We don't like, because that's going to put them against the tax and what they want to do and having flexibility in 2027. I think the same thing for Cleveland as well when we start talking about the basketball side of it with Donovan Mitchell and where they're trying to go and adding an Asian superstar to that mix. And then, like Shump just mentioned, you just went and got a Schroeder. You went and got another ball handler, somebody that can alleviate some of the pressure off of Donovan Mitchell. So for both sides, I don't understand it completely, but this looks like a deal that has a lot to do with money and flexibility.
Basketball-wise, Lou, what does this look like with Harden and Donovan Mitchell together?
Like I said, I don't know. I don't know at this point.
You know.
Listen, both guys need the basketball in their hands to be successful.
Right.
That's no secret. I think that's why we're even having this conversation about Donovan Mitchell and Garland. All three guys involved in this conversation have to have the basketball. They all three are ball-dominant guys. If one of them can play off the ball, it's going to be Garland. I like to see him off the ball. You like to see Donovan Mitchell off the ball as well. That's why you bring in a Schroeder. That's why you even bring bring in Alonzo Ball in the summer, some guys that can alleviate some of that pressure and let him play some two and be off of the basketball. And so at this point, I don't know what it means. I know James has been next to Kawhi Leonard for a number of years now, and he's kind of been a facilitator. He's kind of taken a back seat to him and picking his spots when to be aggressive. But, you know, when you go to a new market, you want to prove that you're still you. And so I feel like if you add James Harden to a Cleveland Cavaliers, he's going to be the best version of James Harden that he can possibly be, and that might be disruptive to Donovan Mitchell. So I don't know what to make of all of this.
It's a very loud trade rumor as far as rumors go, and 48, 30, I don't know how many hours we're away from this thing. Donovan Mitchell's having the best scoring year of his career, and that's the other part of this, Boogie, because we spent so much time. I thought we'd all finally mentally gotten to a place where we're like, you know what, Donovan Mitchell and DG, we kind of like that. We like the way. Finally, we got to that point, and now we're going to rip that up, or we're going to bring just the collective talking head group. That's for Donovan Mitchell. If you're Donovan Mitchell, are you waking up to this thinking, I don't know if I like this or not?
If I'm Donovan Mitchell, I am feeling that way. Like I said, on paper, it doesn't make sense. If you don't like the situation of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, then bringing in James Harden is basically creating the same type of situation. It's two ball-dominant type of guards. And also, at the same time, they're not the best defensively together. So it's more so the same problem. So if I am Donovan Mitchell, I'm not necessarily happy about the potential move. As far as making moves, I do like the aggressiveness of the Cavaliers and trying to improve. They're not having the year that they would have liked to have or expected to have, but I don't think this is necessarily the right move for them moving forward. So,
let's talk Cleveland. If you're Harden, are you stoked about the idea of going to play in Cleveland, Shump?
I mean, if you're James Harden, anytime you could be a part of a playoff team, you're happy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that James is going to do some of his best work in the playoffs where you're now in a series. It's about adjustments. You've been here before, and you have to do this. We haven't seen James, you know, make the steps that we want him to make as far as getting into the championship and doing his thing ever since leaving from OKC. We thought we'd finally see it. And, you know, he hasn't been able to get over the hump. But his leadership alone of coming onto a team and being able to explain to the young guys that haven't been there what they need to go through, what they need to do, the mistakes that he's made. I mean, he's got some positives on paper. I'm not saying he's worthless. I'm just saying when you pair him next to Donovan Mitchell, do you really think Donovan Mitchell is going to spread his wings bigger? Now you got Jalen Tyson saying it's his city now. And now you just gonna switch everything up on him.
You even got Tyson playing well at that position.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand the and Boogie just pointed out a great point. Y'all, the times that the Cavs have been successful in previous years, hung the hat on the defensive end. When you bring James, you're not getting,
That's not happening.
not getting defense. So you already lost. You traded
Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter, DeAndre Hunter. You already traded him, and he was one of your better defenders. He's one of your two-way guys, one of your blue-collar guys. And now you bring in James Harden. It's like your defense takes a hit, but your defense is what needed to improve. I think that's what has knocked them off the tracks. So it's like your defense got to improve. You thought you were bringing Lonzo Ball to alleviate some of that ball handling, to make it less ball dominant, but somebody that still could facilitate, get guys in the right spot. He just hasn't been as healthy as they want him to be.
Right.
He hasn't shot the ball particularly well. So it's like Lonzo Ball is the guy that got kind of pushed to the side a little bit, and that's why you bring Schroeder in. I don't see the value that James Harden brings. If you're going to do that, you might as well trade Donovan Mitchell.
Oh.
I'm just saying, if you want something good, you want to get good.
It's just crazy to me. This is not what I think people had envisioned when they thought Cavs need to make maybe a move or two. This is not what I thought we'd be talking about.
At all.
From the Clippers side, and by the way, none of this has happened yet. It's just a very, very loud trade rumor that exists in the moment. From the Clippers side, Lou, take me through. Should they do this? What is their motivation?
Well, I know they're trying to hold their cards to 2027. It's a lot of guys that's going to be available coming into the 2027 offseason. You got Steph, you got Kawhi, you got Kyrie, you got Trae Young, you got Kat, AD, Mitchell, Jokic, Giannis. The reality is, how many of those guys, if one, do you realistically have an opportunity to get or even retain a Kawhi Leonard? So if you have the opportunity to make this move, you get 10 years younger at that guard spot. You got a bona fide all-star coming in. You got some room to grow with him and Kawhi Leonard. They've bet the house on Kawhi. So they're going to continue to put pieces around him to try to make them better. Zubac has become a valuable asset on a team that's been playing well. But if you're going to do this, you should have just kept Norm Powell. If you were going to do all of this, you should have just kept Norm Powell, who's also an all-star in another uniform now. SGA, years and years ago. He's not only an all-star, he's probably the best player in the NBA by a lot of people's opinion that you already had in uniform. And so now you're back again with another young guard that you have an opportunity to start fresh with. I can see this as a positive for the Clippers, but again, I don't think this is a one-and-done move. I know this is something they're trying to do for the future, but strictly basketball-wise, adding Darius Garland to a lot of basketball teams make you better, and I think so for the Clippers too.
Yeah, that side. By the way, from a player's perspective, real quick, like I know they said that Kawhi was surprised to find out that James Harden wanted to trade. Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure, because if I want to leave somewhere, y'all are all going to know about it. That's why I feel like I didn't know if that was real or not real.
Straight up.
It's always a surprise for them when the news comes.
every once in a while, it can be a surprise. And knowing Kay and being a Clipper and being a teammate of his, he might genuinely been surprised.
Maybe he just wasn't listening.
He might genuinely been surprised about all of this, because he doesn't involve himself in a lot of things business-wise that doesn't pertain to him.
What a nice bubble that must be. Good for him. We did have a game, and the Clippers did play in a game, and they lost that game.